Ora si registrerà la conferenza.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Gianmarco Guazzo. I'm very happy to moderate this very important meeting among all the delegations and the representatives of the Italy-Croatian ASOC ETC projects. And of course, I would like to give you a warm welcome to all teachers from Croatia, from Italy, and all the guests that are today have joined today this event. Um, I'm in During this session, we will present the general objectives of the project, and of course, the timing and the steps of the project, and then we will go through the select the criteria to select the projects, and of course the characteristics of the projects that are to be selected and monitored by schools participating in this project. I'd like to thank you again for your collaboration and for your efforts, and we are so happy to start this second edition of the ASOC ETC Italy-Croatia program. The first edition was very successful, and we will see through the words and the story, the experience that Natalia and the schools from Termoli and Buzet will tell us in a few minutes. And we are ready to start this new adventure together, and with our support, of course. And of course, the support of the managing authority of the Italy-Croatia Interreg program, and of course our support from the Department of Cohesion Policy of the Italian government. So thank you very much, and I would like to give you the floor to Mrs. Flavia Zuccon, Head of Managing Authority of Italy-Croatia Interreg program. Please.
Okay, thank you, Gianmarco, and good afternoon to all of you, and thanks to be with us today. For this second edition, I can say, of the ASOC CT project. I would like really briefly remember that in the last year we did with our cross-border program first pilot, I can say, experience of civic monitoring of the project funded by the program. But we have anyway a very positive feedback from this experience. If I correctly remember, there were 8 schools involved in this pilot experience, and they analyzed 4 standard projects. And we have interest in the last July, a really enthusiastic final meeting in which the 2 winner schools could illustrate their work and above all their opinions. So as a lesson learned from that experience, I can say that this feedback that include also some issues that the students discovered during the examination of these projects are really relevant for us, for, of course, knowing a different point of view about what a project means, a cross-border means, from the point of view of a different stakeholder, not the usual beneficiaries, but from the educational world. And so we used this feedback to better understand how to involve this kind of educational world and this kind of stakeholder, the young people, in the new programming period. So, As you know, I think the monitoring committee of the program very promptly agreed to have a second edition for the next programming period, and also the European Commission asked to us to insert the ASOC ECT project again in the new IP for 2021-2027 programming period. And we are proud to have the possibility to start so soon with the second edition, in the same time that we launch the first call of proposal for this new IP. So even if the second edition of ASOC project will regard the project already funded in the previous programming period, the strategic one, we are convinced that the feedback of this second civic monitoring exercise could be useful, and in a particular way could be useful because the application to the strategic projects will be more challenging than the civic monitoring exercise on the standard project as in the past, because these kind of projects are more complex and they were chosen by the monitoring committee representative. The themes were chosen by the monitoring committee representatives. So they are projects in which the monitoring committee and the member states put and higher attention and higher interest to the result. And of course, the possibility to have a different point of view from the civic monitoring exercise could be another element, another chance to think to the next strategic project that are anyway foreseen also in the new IP program. So the focus of this second edition of the strategic project is really challenging for the students, but also is full of expected feedback also for us as managing authority and monitoring. In the conclusion, we are very happy to could give the possibility to ASOC to have a second edition with us, with our program. And we wish to follow the progress of the project, also for giving step by step your progress and your result to the monitoring committee. And if it will be possible, also to invite the ASOC ECT project to give us the result in an event that we are scheduling for the program dedicated to the strategic project, more or less at the middle of June of this year. So if we will be able to reach the final event and the final result of this project in the same period, we will be glad to guest the project in this program event in order to valorize the project also in this way and to give to a larger public the result of this civic monitoring exercise. So that's all from my side, and I will give to you the floor again.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Zuccon, for your introductory speech. Thank you very much also to remind us which are the main objectives and values, and of course the keywords of the project we are launching in the second edition, which is civic monitoring and of course participation and innovative educational course program, let's say. So at the School of OpenCohesion, which is the mainstream, the main project under which ASOC ETC project under course launched this experimental initiative in the last year, 2022, 2021, 2022, and it was very successful. 4 pairs of schools from Croatia and Italy participated in the project, in the pilot project, and at the end of the educational course program, the managing authority, together, of course, with the collaboration of the Croatian delegation and the Italian ASOC team, had the chance to award the pair of school which won the first pilot edition. The pair of school was composed by the schools from Termoli and Buzet, but first of all, I like to share with you the video of the award ceremony held in Trieste in July 8, 2022. So just a few moments to share my screen. Just a moment. I beg your pardon, maybe the audio is missing. Okay, let's
Yes,
try
I
again.
confirm.
Yes, let's try again. Okay, this was the award, the video, the award ceremony of the last year, and uh, I would like to thank again all the participants and the schools and teachers and all the organization of the last edition. It was very exciting for us, for all of us, to see how the civic monitoring activities produced so many these kind of successful results in not only in team working among the school pairs, but also regarding all the contents and the outputs delivered by schools in the last edition. So I would like to thank again all the participants in organization. I'd like to thank Natalia Shimunovic from the Croatian government who managed the last edition, and I think we can have a little switch on the agenda, because I saw some message in the chat. If you agree, Natalia, we can give the floor to Professor Badurina first for his testimonials. If you agree. I cannot see. Natalia?
Yeah, sure, Gianmarco, please go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay, so now I'd like to give the floor to the teacher from Buzet, the school of Buzet, who was one of the two schools who composed the pair, the couple of schools that won the first experimental edition. Please go on.
Hello, everybody. My name is Herve Badurina, and I was mentoring my team from high school Buzet. We decided to apply for the participation in this pilot project because so that students would acquire new knowledge and experience which could benefit them in their future. Unfortunately, my team has a lot of obligation, so I will just like to say in their own words what this participation meant to them. Their impressions were overwhelmingly positive. They said that this project has enriched them with new acquaintances, information on the cohesion politics, of course, civil monitoring, how to analyze data, team management, and division of roles. Uh, what they are most pleased with is gaining life experience, the possibility of creative work on different platforms, digital literacy, and so on, and growing their self-confidence during the work, uh, during talking to the main roles, main partners in projects and so on. And that's it from my side or their part of story. So thank you once again for the opportunity to to participate in this project, and good luck to everyone in this 2022-23 year. Thank you very much, and thank you.
Thank you very much for your participation, your call, and your testimonials. Thank you, Professor Badurina, for being here today. And I would like to give the floor soon to the now the students from the School of Termoli, from the winning school pair of Termoli Buzet. So I can see you in the video. So the floor is yours for a short speech about what this experience, what you learn, what you grab from this experience in your opinion. So please go on.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're two students of the Bucharest Higher Education Institute, Maria Pezzano and Sara Grimaldi, and we were part of the Critical Italy team. And we were two of the three project managers of the group. Our team was made up by 16 students from different classes who started to work on the project on March 2022. And we wanted to say that we appreciated a lot the opportunity that our teacher gave us to work on this project because it was a really formative experience.
This experience permitted us to increase our knowledge in many different sectors. For example, we have discovered new places and we have known new people who work in the project or people who attend our school and the Croatian guys. This was very important to increase our English skills and we have learned to meet difficulties at work and we have developing our problem solving skills.
And so we can say that this experience was really training for us, and we hope that the one that we are taking this year will be the same as the past one. And so that's all that we wanted to say to you today, and thank you all for the attention.
Thank you very much for your brilliant and perfect presentation, and thank you so much also to participate also in this second edition with the School of Ceremony, of course, together with the other schools, other 7 schools from Italy and other 8 schools from Croatia. And please stay with us because you know that the most thrilling moment of the day will be the matching of schools. So you will get acquainted in a few minutes on the name of the school you will be working with. So thank you again, and I'm very pleased to give the floor to Mrs. Natalia Shimunovic from the Croatian Ministry of European Funds, Regional Development EU funds, who managed together with the Italian team the last edition, and of course who was the one together with their colleagues that launched the ASOC Croatia at the School of OpenCohesion in Croatia. So please, Natalia, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Gianmarco. Thanks to the colleagues for their interventions. Hello to Flavia and the whole team, both from my ministry and the Italian counterparts, of course. Yes, my name is Natalia. I work at the Ministry of Regional Development and EU funds in Croatia. And together with my team, we have last year, so with the ETC team from the ministry, we worked on the implementation of the first cross-border cooperation ASOC project. And I have a few slides that I would like to share with you. Give me a second, please. Okay, now it should be visible, I presume. Gianmarco, if you could.
Yes,
okay, perfect.
Yes.
Okay, so we move on. Especially for the Croatian counterparts, what is very important is that in Italy, the ASOC, or at the School of OpenCohesion project, is a well-known and widespread initiative, and you can see on the slide the numbers and the historical data basically that come from the implementation of ASOC in Italy. So it's been going on for a decade already, while in our country it's active since 2019. I'm sure you will hear more about this in Gianmarco's presentation a little bit later. But what I wanted here is to compare the experience and the figures that characterize the two countries' experience in implementation of ASOC. But regardless of the difference in the number of schools or the number of students, I have to say that our ministry is very proud of the results that we have achieved so far, and of also the pilot experience that we had in last year's piloting of the ETC program. In both countries, projects are the same. Basically, Croatia, as a couple of other EU member states, is replicating the Italian best practice project. And the guiding principles in this are collaboration, participation, and transparency, of course. So last year, as you already heard, and I presume already are familiar with, we had the first pilot year of the ETC Croatia, Italy-Croatia ASOC project. We had 4 pairs of schools, and on the slide you can see how these pairs looked like in practice, and they were selected by random selection, and together by the end today, by the end of this session, you will be able also to know who your pair in the other country will be. The projects that were monitored come from the Italy-Croatia Interreg program. Colleagues here that are speakers after me will give you more details on the program itself, and they are, of course, better experts in these terms. But we had so four pairs of schools. They have engaged in the civic monitoring activities for 3 projects altogether. Why only 3? Because 2 pairs of schools chose the same project in the end. So we had 2 projects from cultural heritage and 1 from the energy sector. The winning pair of schools being the one that is entitled Histocritical. And my last slide, because we have some more exciting information to share with you today. Again, on the award ceremony, which is not so important itself, although it was very exciting and very informative for us also to firsthand hear the experience and recommendations from the students, but also because we were still in post-COVID times, and this was actually the first opportunity for the teams to meet in person, and for the professors also, so for the teachers, and for the ASOC Italy and ASOC Croatia teams to interact directly again, since we were of course unfortunately only able to do so via cameras in the past 2 years. Yes, the final award ceremony was held in Trieste last year. All students, so not only the winning teams, received certificates of participation. And as I said, students had a chance to share with us their views and the lessons learned, which they found also in a critical way, of course, which, as Flavia mentioned, we took into consideration for this year's edition. That is more or less everything that I wanted to say today. Apart from that, what we definitely see as when we compare the cross-border cooperation, the Interreg, ASOC to standard national editions, this twinning part definitely is a value added to the experience, and shows, as our students used to say, well, proves more and gives them the better understanding of ideas of being European citizens. So this is, I think, the main message that we wanted to share. Very happy to have even more schools participating in this year's edition. And yes, because it is a competitive course, a competitive project, please do keep in mind all the deadlines that you will have. And I'm sure this element of competitiveness brings an even bigger activates the students even more in accomplishing well best results that are possible. Gianmarco, I stop here and yes, thank you for inviting us and including us in this year's edition of ASOC ETC.
Thank you very much, Natalia, for your presentation. That gave us a general view, a very important view of how the last edition was carried out by schools and which were the main objectives and the main results. So thank you very much again, and now we will jump through the second part of this session webinar by describing and illustrating the main objectives, the main steps, and also the timetable, the timing of all the activities, educational activities in which schools from Croatia and Italy will be involved from now on. So we will use a short presentation, slide presentation. I will introduce the general ASOC mainstream project, which are the main values and the keywords, and then I will give the floor to my colleague Ivana to end up with the main characteristics of the ASOC ETC Interreg Italy-Croatia program. So, starting from sharing my screen again. Hope you can see my slides. The slides now. Give me a sign if yes.
Yes, perfectly.
Okay, thank you very much, Nora. So, Out of School of OpenCohesion, as you know, is the mainstream project from which, as Natalia said, was launched 10 years ago in Italy by the Department of Cohesion Policy at the presidency of the presidency of the Council of Ministers of the Italian government. And basically, as you can see here, these are the magic words of the project. It is a project relating to civic education that wants to develop digital skills, not only digital skills and communication skills, through activities of civic monitoring of public funding in one's home community. In a few words, students learn how to monitor and how to understand what is cohesion policy, how cohesion policy affects their territories, and how public money is spent. So this is generally the description of the project. As you can see, at the School of OpenCohesion is not just an educational project, but it's also an educational project, and it's also an active citizenship project. It was launched in 2013, as we said, under the Department of Cohesion Policy, and of course with the institutional support of the Italian Ministry of Education and the representation of the European Commission in Italy. At the School of OpenCohesion is divided into four main educational steps, as you can see here. We will go through each step lesson by lesson. Each step corresponds to a lesson. There are four lessons from now on. The first will be with regard the design of the project. So how we choose the project, which project from the Interreg program you will choose, you teachers and students from Croatia and Italy, and then you will collect data information on the project you will be monitoring. You will analyze the project, you will explore it, and you will at the end communicate and tell the story about the project and about what you learned from this experience. At the School of OpenCohesion is also an international project. In 2019, with the support of the European Commission, at the School of OpenCohesion was disseminated also in other countries, as you can see, in Croatia, in Spain, Portugal, Bulgaria, and Greece. Nowadays, the project still goes on in Croatia and in Spain, while it will be relaunched in 2013 or 2023, also in Greece and in Portugal. This is a very good news. And we are working together with the Slovenian government to launch the project also in Slovenia. As you can see, there are relevant numbers of participants during these years. From the time of the launching of the project, 2013, the project reached more than 34,000 students from over 1,400 classes. We monitored approximately more than 1,000 projects financed by cohesion policy. And of course, with the participation and support of 3,000 teachers and 800 territorial networks, which we thank again for their cooperation, their efforts in making this project so successful. The After School Open Cohesion project, as it is an international project, the educational contents of the project are also translated in other languages, as you can see. So you will find the educational contents of the ASOC projects also translated in English, French, German, of course Italian, Croatian, and in Bulgarian, Catalan, Spanish, Greek, and Portuguese too. This was made possible thanks to the support, the direct support of the European Commission and also by the individual managing authorities of the ETC, means European Territorial Cooperation Programs. And now we like to describe deeply which are the results, which are the objectives and the educational activities and the general activities that students and teachers will be carrying out from now on, starting from lesson 1, now we will see also the calendar of the activities together. And to describe these activities, I'm pleased to give the floor to Ivana Živković from the Croatian Ministry of Regional Development and EU Funds, Sector for Coordination of European Territorial Cooperation Programs and Macro-Regional Strategies, which is together in a good company with her colleagues from the Croatian delegation. So, Ivana, the floor is yours. If you want, I can keep the slides open.
Please do manage the slides for me. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Gianmarco, for introducing me. Firstly, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all participants, those who already know me from before, and especially to those that will yet be acquainted with me and other colleagues representing the ASOC team. I would also not want to forget to thank Natalia and her team for raising the ASOC bar very high. I hope that we will be able to maintain the expectations and this quality level. So not to go into further details, I believe that from previous presentations you've already managed to get the idea on what ASOC is. I would dare to say that from my perspective, ASOC has several words defining it. For me, it would be all about twinning, cooperation, working together, learning from each other's peculiarities and removing obstacles that are represented by our common borders. So my task is to briefly present the overview of the ASOC project, its main objective, which you can see illustrated in this slide, and this is to involve the pairs of schools, in this case from Italian and from Italy and Croatia. So, like Natalia said, in previous edition we had 4 pairs of high schools. In this year's edition we will be having 8 pairs of high schools who will be working together and learning about tools of civic monitoring, with the final aim of verifying the impact of the jointly selected projects on the territories, whereas on the local communities. Please, Gianmarco, go on. So what are the expected outputs of the ASOC project? ASOC is to be implemented within the next few months in the framework of 4 dedicated lessons, and those are in fact online webinars that will be held in national languages, so both in Italian and in Croatian. Basically, they are following the ASOC mainstream teaching model, and have pretty much the same outputs, which you can see marked here in bold letters on the slide. So we hope that every lesson will have these expected outputs. We also hope that the situation with the COVID pandemic won't repeat, and that students and teachers and their teams will have the possibility to perform at least one on-site civic monitoring visit. And for the end of the project, we propose for the teams to jointly work together and do their best and produce the final joint report in English. So please, Gianmarco, next slide. Natalia already presented you the experience with the final event in Trieste, and you've seen it from the video that was shared by the colleagues from the JS and the managing authority. It was a very interesting and rewarding experience for us from the ministry. It was especially perfect to see these young students that were so self-confident, and that we were really delightful to see these kids at the age of 17 being so sure of their work, and displaying the developed friendship with their counterparts from the other side of the borders. And this final event for us, it was a real proof that cooperation works, and that this cooperation through Interreg is a great thing in connecting us. Please, the next slide, Gianmarco. So what are the next steps? Basically, what is directly ahead of us is a webinar of the lesson 1 that we have jointly scheduled to take part on January 26th. So within more or less 2 weeks. And what is the final outcome that we expect after this lesson 1? That is that the teams of schools select the projects to be monitored by the school pairs, and that the students work together in defining their team and brand identity. And we strongly encourage you that even after today's webinar, we will share the contacts of the teachers from Italy and also Croatia. We encourage you to make this first contact between the school pairs already now, not to wait the webinar of the lesson 1 or its end. After the first webinar, we will have periodic webinars until the end of the project. But at the project level, at the implementation level, you are encouraged to have periodic online meetings between school pairs observing the same project, and to establish and maintain contacts between the stakeholders at the local level, those who are in charge, for example, of implementing the projects that you jointly choose to monitor. Next slide, please. Gianmarco, here ahead of us, you can see the calendar of the educational activities. So what we had in mind was to have the 4 lessons, like we already mentioned earlier. This is the schedule that you can see. These dates are not carved in stone, but we really do hope that we will be able to respect the envisaged schedule, and especially the deadlines. You won't be penalized for not delivering us the expected homeworks by the exact deadline, but we strongly encourage you to do so, to respect the overall implementation timeline, and the implementation will end at the end of May with the last deadline, and we hope to have the final event sometimes in June, July of 2023. So the next slide, please. Of course, all along the implementation, you can count on our support, both from the Italian team, from the OpenCohesion, as well as from Croatian team, us from the ministry, and with very special and technical and dedicated support from our colleagues from the managing authority, Ms. Anna Flavia Zuccon and her team, and from the JS experts, Ms. Silvia Comiati and her team. Just for the Croatian stakeholders, I would like to mention that we have a regional antenna of the Joint Secretariat of the Italy-Croatia program here in Zadar. It might be a useful information to know that you can also establish, we can share their contacts, and in case of need, you can establish contacts with them. And of course, at the end, there are always our colleagues from the Europe Direct Centers network. Here in Croatia as in Italy, with whom we also encourage you to be in contact. We will share their contacts, and they can facilitate this establishing of contacts between the local stakeholders. In Croatia, we also have this peculiarity that we have what we call a regional network of coordinators. We will share their contacts as well, and they can serve as a bridge between us, the institutional level, your teams, and the local stakeholders who are in charge of the project implementation. Next slide, please. Contact information. So I already said that ASOC is all about cooperation, but also it's all about communication. Here you can see displayed the dedicated web pages, both Italian and Croatian, as well as the dedicated email addresses and the official hashtags to be used in online communication. You will learn more about it, of course, during our webinars, and I believe that you're already familiar, at least, with these indicated email addresses to which we already communicated. Next slide, please. And so for the end of my intervention here, you can see what we could say is a kind of motivation message from Mr. Pradhan. He's a CEO at the Open Government Partnership, who in the framework of the high-level conference held in Brussels in 2020 stated that the School of Open Cohesion should be spread all over the EU countries to improve the citizen engagement. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Ivana. Of course, we are always available to offer more information, detailed information about especially the timing. And as Ivana said, the timing is not written in stone. The most important thing now to bear in mind is that the next appointment will be the webinar of lesson number 1, which will be held on January 26. We will give you to the teachers of Italy from the Italian team and the teachers of Croatia from the Croatian team all the detailed information to participate in the first lesson. But let me say that during this time until webinar lesson number 1, so from now on, starting from the next week, maybe you can, of course, work together as school pairs once you will be matched in a few minutes to contact both schools and to work together, just to start thinking which could be the project you will select and you will monitor. So I think that you can do from now on, after the presentation of the colleagues from the managing authority and the joint secretariat, who will give you very important information about the program and the projects that you can select to be monitored from now on. So this now introduce the third part of this web session, and I am pleased to give the floor to the colleagues from the Managing Authority of the Italy-Croatia Interact program, namely Enrico Carraro, which will shortly introduce the what is Interreg, and then there will be the turn of Silvia Commiati, head of Joint Secretariat, which will explain the program of the Italy-Croatia Interreg program, and then will be the turn of the colleagues from the Joint Secretariat, Managing Authority, Mari and Natalia, that will go through the presentation of the project list. And it will be very important to present this project list, because that will be the list from which you will pick up the project that you will monitor during this school year under the ASOC ETC project. So, Enrico, the floor is yours. Sorry, Enrico, we cannot hear you. No, I think no, we cannot hear you at all. No. If you can try.
Not quite sure why not.
Yes, now we can hear you. Now it's okay. Please go on.
Okay, so maybe the laptop was just a bit slow because I made a test before and it was working, so I was a bit worried now. I am sorry. Good afternoon, everyone. I will just give you a as quick as possible overview of the Interreg fund, the Interreg, just to allow to understand the framework in which the Italy-Croatia program operates. We will talk mostly about the 14-20 programming period, with some brief insights of the upcoming programming period 21-27. Don't be afraid. This is how European planning works. Usually the European programming period have a 7 years breadth, but ends 3 years after the nominative end of the period. So this is how it works. I should be. Can you see the screen? Hopefully.
Yes.
Okay.
Just a little bit. Okay. Now you can see your screen. Good.
Yeah, the powerful tools we use for presenting. The definition of Interreg is sorry, I'm not quite sure. It's not working for me. PowerPoint, which is pretty funny because
we can see your PowerPoint slides. So
it's blank.
Now it's blind, but I think you have to click on.
Okay, I'll leave I'll leave PowerPoint like this. I hope it's not too annoying. I'm not quite sure why that it's not working. The important thing to say is that Interreg is one of the key instruments that European Union uses to fund some projects that shall tackle challenges that are common across different areas of the European Union, such as research, education, environment. But it's not the only tool that European Union has. It is within the framework of the cohesion policy, although there are also other policies such as the agricultural and fishery, and Interreg works divided in 3 main pillars, which are the cross-border cooperation programs. They are 60 in the 14-20 programming period. Italy-Croatia is one of them. The transnational cooperation programs and the interregional programs. We will see in brief detail them later. it is a key element for the construction of the European space. And the European Commission, European Union defines it as a pillar of the integration of European states. It shall bring added value into different forms, such as facilitating communication between states, helping to overlap differences and challenges that borders may arise. Of course, we will share these slides, so you may have the chance to click and click the links and have a better way to study the words that are there. 2020 programming period is the fifth, and this shows, starting from 1990, a constant growth of the funds available within the Interreg. And the upcoming one, the one that is starting now, is the 21-37, and it's kind of reshaping the traditional cooperation strands or pillars, creating new components, one dedicated to the outermost regions and the other one to the cooperation on innovation. And for the next programming period, it's foreseen an 8.1 billion budget, while the whole cohesion policy has a budget of 373 billions. For going a little bit back to the 14-20 programming period, we can see that it's been that have been selected 18 thematic objectives. You can see them here. Only few of them have been chosen by the different programs. This choice has been made through mixed approach, bottom up, but also some top-down decisions, but with constant negotiation and talk and discussion with the territories involved in order to better tackle them. In Italy, it was foreseen an income, a comeback of funds of about 2.9 billions, and through 19 European territorial cooperation programs, while in Croatia it was foreseen an income, receive a comeback of an average of 2,500 euro per person, per citizen. Here there is the detail of the three main strands of the ETC, the cross-border, as I was saying, the transnational, that involves more states with the common problems and challenges, while the international cooperation involves all the European regions plus Norway and Switzerland, and of course plus Iceland, and this is aimed to challenge high-level difficulties and obstacles that arise between member states. Also, there are also some programs that are actually involving external cross-border. For instance, countries that are not yet or that will never be part of the European Union. These programs will be strengthened in the next programming period, and of course the reshaping of the programs, of the different programs of the ETC for the 21-27 period actually involved also a reshaping of the financed area, adding some regions, some provinces. And by the way, this is also true for Italy-Croatia, that saw some reshaping that will be discussed later. I hope I've been in the 5 minutes I had available. It's a very tough topic, but I know that resume everything in 5 minutes is for sure superficial, but I hope it was not too messed. And I thank you very much for your attention, and I give the word back to the speaker, to the presenter.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Enrico. Thank you. And I would like to give suddenly the floor to Silvia Comiati, Head of Joint Secretariat of the Italy-Croatia Interact program. Silvia, please, you can take the floor. And
Thank you, Gianmarco. Good morning, good afternoon, sorry, also from my side. I will also be try to be quick with the presentation of the program and leave more space to my colleagues who will dive deep into the projects that will be actually the focus of the civic monitoring for this year. So let me also try to share my presentation. Okay, Gianmarco, can you give me a feedback if
yes,
it's
you can see.
visible?
Good. Please go on.
Okay, yes. So I can start. Now we should see the first slide. Yes, with the Interact program. So just briefly, so you have learned from Enrico which are the main characteristics of Interact compared to other EU-funded programs. So we are, as we said, working in the framework of European territorial cooperation, which is part of the cohesion policy. Our main goal as a program is to increase the prosperity, so the quality of life of the people living in the area. And we want to do that by focusing on the blue growth potential of our territories and by stimulating partnerships that are composed by organizations on both sides of the border. An important aspect that we also always want to highlight when we talk about our program is that we are a maritime program. So we work on a maritime border. This is important because this is a feature that differentiates somehow our program compared to other ETC programs, and also characterizes the types of activities and the focus and the strategy that the program actually puts in place, as we will see also later on. We work in the framework of European Regional Development Fund, which is one of the most important funds of the cohesion policy, and our program has in 14-20 programming period, as we are still working on that one. We have a budget of 236 million euro with a percentage of 85% funded by the European Regional Development Fund, and a 15% which is put as a national co-financing by the state or by the organizations participating in the projects. So this is the area of the program. As you can see in this slide, we have all the coastal areas of Italy and Croatia overlooking the Adriatic Sea. So we can say that the Adriatic Sea is really at the core. Yes?
Non so se sono solo io, ma io vedo ancora la slide numero 1.
Yes, Silvia.
I suppose that. Okay, let me try again. Let's try like this. Can you see now the slide with the area?
Yes.
Okay, and if I switch, you can see the
Yes, now we can
subsequent.
see the switch.
Okay, great. Okay, so as I said, this is the program area of the counties and provinces overlooking the Adriatic Sea. And as you can see in our program area, the Adriatic Sea is really at the core of cooperation. So it's really central in our strategy. I will skip this and go on. In this slide, you can see a little bit some numbers. We have approved in this programming period 92 projects, and we have more than 800 partners working and cooperating in our 92 projects. We develop different products and different outputs. You can see in this slide some of them, some categories. So we work on policy making level, we work on information system and ICT platform. We develop training and coaching and knowledge experience support. We develop wider projects and demonstration tests, services, strategies and governance tools. And also a lot of activities that deal more with awareness raising. So how is the program managed in terms of bodies and responsibilities? The program has different authorities that work to make it actually functioning and make it delivering the strategy in the territories. So we have a monitoring committee, which is the main body of the program, dealing with the steering of the program, and it is composed by representatives of the member states. Of course, the managing authority that is responsible for the overall implementation of the program, the joint secretariat that assists the MA and the MC and provides assistance also and support to beneficiaries and to potential beneficiaries in the application phase. Then we have in this programming period the certifying authority that is dealing with the payments and the expenditure that have to be sent to the Commission for reimbursement, the audit authority that is checking in the program area that the projects are carried out according to the rules of the program and of EU level, and the systems of first level control, which are the bodies in charge of controlling the expenditures of the projects. Talking about the priority axis of our program, we have 4 axes, and you will see later on in the presentation of the project that our 92 projects will be are subdivided into these 4 topics, 4 main priorities. The first one is dealing with blue innovation. The second one is dealing with safety and resilience, and in particular about climate change and risk management. The third one is dealing with the environmental and cultural heritage, and here we have natural and cultural resources. We also have the quality of the environment and the biodiversity. And the fourth priority is dealing with maritime transport. So you can see here also the specific objectives. So if we go in deeper into the strategy of the program, within these 4 priority axes, you see that there are specific objectives that deal specifically with the topics that I just mentioned. So we have 1 specific objective in priority 1, 2 specific objectives in priority 2, we have 3 in priority 3, and 1 in priority 4. How does the program work to implement the projects, and what the projects are requested to do in order to be fully in line with our rules and implementation procedures? So first of all, as Enrico anticipated, our projects are implemented by partnerships. These are organizations located in the program area that I showed you before. They can be private, they can be public bodies, and although we don't have a maximum number of partners per project, there are some instructions, some recommendations that we give to the program, to the projects. But what is important, that has to be a minimum requirement, is that we need to have at least one partner from Italy and one from Croatia. You will see, because you will be monitoring the strategic projects, that the partnerships in strategic projects, that are projects particularly important with higher budget and more demanding goals, these projects actually have quite big, large partnerships. The projects are selected, are approved by the program, by the monitoring committee, through call for proposals. So this means that we issue a call. During this call, when the call is open, the partnerships get together, they produce, they define their projects, they submit the projects, and these projects are then assessed by the Joint Secretariat. And if they are successful, then they can be approved by the monitoring committee. So as I said, the approval of the monitoring committee comes in a specific moment when all these projects are presented, and the monitoring committee actually makes a decision about these projects, and applying the selection criteria that are decided, of course, by the monitoring committee. Once the projects are approved, the project life cycle starts. So the partnerships start to implement their project, their work together, their activities, and they have to achieve certain products, certain outputs and results in the program area. So what we do as a Joint Secretariat and Managing Authority is that we support them in implementation. We try to help them solving the problems they might encounter, and but we also make sure that the project implementation is aligned to what the monitoring committee has approved. The projects are implemented, of course, with a certain budget that the program provides to the project, and this budget is subdivided into budget lines, so in categories of costs. So we have preparation costs, which are the costs that are borne during the design phase of the projects. We have staff costs, dealing with the people working in the project. Office and administration, which are the general expenditure that are borne because of the management of the project. Travel and accommodation. In our projects, the partners need to get together, so they also need to move and to go in the premises of other partners to meet and work together. External expertise and services, which are the support to implementation of the projects. Equipment, dealing with the tools or other machines and other things that are needed for the implementation of the projects. And small infrastructures and works. Project implementation can also lead, and in many cases actually leads to modifications, because the project, as you have already seen, can have a duration from 12 to 36, 40 months or something, it depends. And during these months, there might be some conditions that change, and modification might be needed. So modification can happen. You will probably meet them during your monitoring. They might relate the partnership or the budget or the work plan, so the activities, or the duration that can be extended in case of need. When the projects implement their activity, then they have to report the costs to the program. This is done on a 6-monthly basis, and these costs are then checked by the controllers and by the JS. And then, if everything is in line with the program rules, they are reimbursed by the managing authority to the project. Communication is also very important. We work specifically on the website of the program, where you can find a lot of information, and my colleagues will tell you more about this, but also on social media, Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. We implement our communication strategy to support also the project implementation, and we provide the projects with the communication kit materials to actually align the communication of the project at the program visuals. Finally, a few words about the new program. We have, as also Enrico said, we have entered already the new programming period, which is 2021-2027. We have a new program that was approved last year by the Commission. This program is focusing on blue economy. It wants to capitalize the previous programming period experiences and also to liaise very much with the OSER, which is the macro-regional strategy dealing with the Adriatic and Ionian region. In our program, we want to focus also as cross-cutting issues on digitalization and circular economy, which are keywords in the new programming period within all the programs financed by the European Commission. The new program has a budget of 216 million euro overall. It has the same program area as in 14-20 period, and as I said, it was adopted in August 2022 by the Commission. This is the strategy of the new program. We have 5 priorities, so instead of the 4 that we had in this in 14-20. So these 5 priorities are dealing with sustainable growth in the blue economy, dealing in particular with research and innovation and skills for smart specialization. The second priority is dealing with green and resilient shared environment, and here we're still working on climate change, but also on the issues of biodiversity and environmental pollution. The third priority is dealing with transport, and here the focus is on cross-border mobility in particular. The fourth priority is dealing with culture and tourism, and we want to highlight the role of sustainable tourism for economic development, social inclusion, and social innovation. And the fifth priority is dealing with better cooperation governance, and this is a new topic for the new program. So this is it from my side concerning the program. I hope I gave you a little bit of a view on the current 14-20, but also on the 21-27 program. And of course, my colleagues will complement with more information. Thank you.
Thank you, Silvia. And we are a little bit behind schedule, a little bit late, but we will end up the webinar in 20-30 minutes at latest. And now it's the turn of the presentation illustration of the projects list. And this is a very important slot. And I suggest all teachers connected to pay attention to this intervention from Marin Militic and Natalia Adzic from the Joint Secretariat of the Italy-Croatia Introductory program, which will be also at your side, Marin for the Italian schools and Natalia for the Croatian ones, during this educational experience to support you together with our Croatian and Italian teams from now on. So after this presentation, we will proceed with the matching of the schools. So we will know which school will work together from now on. So I'll give the floor to Mari or Natalia. It's up to you. Please go on.
Yes, good afternoon to everyone. Just one question, Silvia, whether you will share this presentation or I don't think it's allowed to me to share.
You can share if you have.
Doesn't give me option to share.
You have to share just your screen. But
yes.
you cannot share your screen. I can
No.
do it for you if you want. I have your presentation. Just a moment.
Sorry for interrupting. I think you should have the button just beside the cam button. You have the mic. the
Microphone,
webcam.
camera,
Yes,
and
and I
share.
have
And
share, and
then
it's written not allowed to share.
Not allowed?
it's
You
written is
just
not
click
allowed.
on
Okay.
share. Click on.
Yes, still it's written not allowed to share.
Okay, so strange, but I can share
Yeah,
this.
I don't know why.
Okay, just a moment. I'm sharing the slides for you.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm sharing the slides. Please give me a sign if you can see it, and please go on with your presentation.
Yes, yes, okay.
Okay. Okay, just
If
tell
it
me
can be
when
a
I have
little bit
to
bigger,
switch.
then it will be great, but okay.
But it's not. You have to set up your visualization. Just
Okay,
click
okay,
on the
yes,
slides, and
yes,
you will
yes.
see it
Thanks.
better. Okay.
Thanks. Good afternoon once again. My colleague Marin and I will give a brief overview of 11 strategic projects financed within Italy-Croatia program 2014-2020. We can go on the next slide. As head of JS, Ms. Komiati already mentioned, we have 4 priority axes, and the first one is Blue Innovation. Under this priority, we have only one project that you can see on the next slide. Yes, it is dive into the depth of opportunities, so-called in short Innova Mare. Lead partner is Croatian Chamber of Economy, and with a budget of 5.5 million euro, the project is developing an innovation ecosystem model in the area of underwater robotics and sensors for monitoring and surveillance sector. You can see each project has a dedicated web page where you can find more information about partners, target groups, and their specific objectives. Then in the second priority, the next slide, safety and resilience, we have 3 projects. And my colleague Marin will say more about these 3 projects.
So hello to everybody. Can you hear me?
Perfectly.
Yes. Thank you very much. Nice to meet you again, as we already were involved in the last year ASOC. So as regards the 3 projects of the priority axis 2, so the first one is in the specific objective 1. It is called AdriaClim. So as the title says, it deals with climate change, specifically with information monitoring and management tools for adaptation strategies in the Adriatic coastal areas. It's led by Regional Agency for Prevention, Environment and Energy of Emilia-Romagna, with a total budget of 8.8 million euros and a duration of 42 months. The project, as says, is dedicated to support the development of a science-based regional and local climate change adaptation plans. So it will build up such adaptation plans on the up-to-date meteorological and oceanographical informations acquired through newly implemented observing and modeling system in the Adriatic Sea or in the Adriatic area. The next 2 projects are in the specific objective 2.2. The first one is entitled Fire Spill. So the Fire Spill project has the aim to foster improved reaction of cross-border emergency services and prevention, increasing the safety level in the area, as also is available from the title. So the lead partner is public institution RERA of the Split Dalmatia County. The total budget is 16,492,000 euros, and the duration is 38 months. The first field project has the aim to enhance the capacity of emergency service organizations to increase their cross-border effectiveness, tackling natural and man-made disaster, and decreasing the exposure of the population to the impact of hazards, increasing also the safety of the Croatian and Italian coastal area and the Adriatic basin. During the project activities also will be improved the emergency prevention and management measures and instruments. And the next project is also tackling some natural disasters. Specifically, it tackles floods. So the project is called STREAM, the strategic development of flood management. Lead partner is other county development agency Zadranova. It has a total budget of 9.4 million euros and also a duration of 38 months. The project has the aim to enhance the capacity of emergency service organization to increase their competencies and promptly response to the flood. So the objective is to improve monitoring and risk and to reduce the risk of flood hazards and create flood hazards maps and develop early warning system and raise awareness of citizens. Now the next projects belong to the priority axis 3, environmental and cultural heritage, and I will leave the floor for the next project to my colleague.
So the next project is Take It Slow with the lead partner Dubrovnik-Neretva region. Project has a focus on slow and sustainable tourism, giving a value to the travel experience, to social relationship, while choosing different ways of visiting. So the aim is to promote different tourism products and to increase the quality within this project with a total budget of 3.7 million euro. And the next project is...
Thank you, Natalia. I will now keep on with the project in the specific objective 3.2, which is called Argos. So a shared governance of sustainable fisheries and aquaculture activities as leverage to protect marine resources in the Adriatic Sea. The lead partner of such project is Autonomous Region of Friuli Venezia Giulia with a total budget of 5.7 million euros and a duration of 38 months. This project sets up a common framework for governance amongst institutions competent for fisheries and aquaculture in the program area and act as a whole in the management and protection of shared biological resources under the best scientific guidance. The next project, also in specific objective 3.2, is Cascade, so a coastal and marine waters integrated monitoring system for ecosystem protection and management. It is led by Apulia region and with a total budget of 5.8 million euros and a duration of 42 months. The Cascade project will develop a set, and is developing actually because all of these projects are in the implementation phase, a set of concerted and coordinated actions, including monitoring and management. So it will develop observing and modeling system and also enhance the maritime spatial planning, integrated coastal zone management, and land-sea interactions. In order to enhance the knowledge and to evaluate the quality and assess the vulnerability of the area, so the inland and coastal and marine ecosystems, both in Italy and Croatian part. The final objective is to restore the endangered species and to support the integrated management. And the project in specific objective 3.3, MARLES, or Marine Litter Cross-Border Awareness and Innovation Actions. So the lead partner is the Regional Agency for Environmental Protection and Prevention of Veneto. The total budget is 4.2 million euros and a duration of 42 months. The MARLES project intends to tackle the problem of marine litter in the Adriatic Sea. So the project addressed the problems in a holistic way, involving direct or indirect responsible actors of the marine litter, which together can represent the solution to the problem. Also, please, you saw on all the slides, there is a link to program web pages. On such link, you can find much more detailed information on each of the projects. And now the next projects are from the priority axis 4, maritime transport, and I will leave the floor to my colleague Natalia. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marin. Under the last priority, maritime transport, we have 3 projects. First one is SUSPORT, with the main objective to improve the level of environmental sustainability and energy efficiency in ports in the program area by improving cooperation of key stakeholders, institutions, and long-term management activities on both sides of the Adriatic Sea. The lead partner is Port Network Authority of the Eastern Adriatic Sea, so-called Port of Trieste, and with the total budget of 7.1 million euro. Also dedicated web page of the SUSPORT where you can find the details about this project. The next one, it is Mimosa. If someone can change the slide. So Mimosa applies a new cross-border approach to passenger mobility. The project is focused on changing a low level of connectivity between Italy and Croatia by developing visible outputs from multimodal solutions to innovative and smart tools and technologies. It deals, in fact, with a common challenge of increasing multimodality and reducing the impact of transport on the environment. Central European Initiative is a lead partner and also with the same budget as SUSPORT, 7.1 million euro. And the last project that we have within maritime transport is FrameSport, project with the main objective to improve Adriatic small ports through the delivery of strategic framework, the realization of ICT platform, and increase of competitiveness. That's all from our side. As also Gianmarco and other colleagues mentioned, we at the JS and the MA are at your disposal and available for every information that you may need during this process.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Natalia. Thank you, Marin, for this presentation. These are basically the mainstay strategic projects that you will be able to choose and to monitor in this edition of the ASOC ETC Italy-Croatia project. So thank you for this presentation. I would like to say that all this material, all the slides that we showed today will be available, of course, and we will share with all the teachers and students involved in the project in the next week. And of course, starting from the next week, we will keep contact with you, teachers from the Croatian and Italian schools, for more details on the next steps, of course, the webinar lesson number 1 and the next steps to do together. But now I like to share with Ivana this moment, Ivana and her team from Croatia. This is the moment of the picking up and draw the random draw of school names. I have prepared. I don't know if you can see this little box, branded box, okay, with ASOC name, in which I put all these this piece of paper, in which each paper has the name of one Croatian schools. And as you can see, Ivana is ready with the with the papers of the Italian schools. So we can proceed right now to pick up the names of the schools, and now totally random way, we will pick up these names and we will know together live which will be the school pairs that will work together from now on. After this moment, of course, these schools can contact themselves. We will share the contacts to each of each schools, of course, and we will facilitate, of course, the contacts from each for each schools. And I think the best thing to proceed is now, Ivana. It's up to you. Just pick up the first name for Italian school. And I will register. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Gianmarco. Let's hope I won't draw out a rabbit.
Yeah.
So the first school is Istituto Tecnico Tito Acerbo from Pescara, Abruzzo region.
Okay. I will be not so precise in the pronunciation in the Croatian language. I will give you the pronunciation of the town, the municipality of the school, and thank you. So the school from Pescara, right, Tito Acerbo, will be matched with the school from Split. Okay, I'm trying to change my. I don't know if you can see, but you cannot see this because it's well.
Not really.
Okay, just a moment. I'm trying to change my monitor setup. So, okay. You have to trust me. It is written Split, okay? Split and Pescara, okay?
Please, Gianmarco, could you be more precise, because we had two schools from at least Split, Dalmatia.
No, we have just, I think, one school
yes,
from
I
Split.
think it's Ekonomska Škola Split, or... Okay.
Okay. Yes, it's the commercial economics school.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
So Pescara and Split, we work together. Okay.
Excuse me, I don't know if you have the same problem, but I'm seeing the share screen of a mobile phone, and I think for this reason it's very difficult to see all your webcam and.
Yes, yes, right. Mrs. Dvornik, please, can you stop sharing your screen?
Probably she. I think, Gianmarco, you can stop because you are the host of the webinar. I think that maybe you can take it off from.
I can share my screen, you say? Just a moment. Okay, trying to share my screen and then let's see what's happening. And I'm stop sharing the screen. Okay, I think now it's everything.
Yeah, now it's perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hello, yes.
Yes, I'm Diana Dvornik. Sorry, but my mobile phone or something is not good. I come on meeting later.
Don't worry, Mrs. Warning. Thank you. We don't worry, because this session is registered, is recorded. So we will share with you and all your colleagues and teachers the registration after the session. Okay?
Yes. Sorry, I'm later.
Don't worry. It's okay. So we can proceed with the picking up. Please go on, Ivana.
Of course. The next school is Istituto Volterra Elia from Ancona, Regione Marche.
Okay. And then I will pick up the name of the other school, which is the school from Duga Resa. Okay. So Ancona and Duga Resa.
So
okay.
I'm sorry, can you repeat me for my school, please? Because my mobile, something is wrong.
We are proceeding with the picking up of all the schools, Mrs. Dworning. At the end, you will be able to understand which is the school matching. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, so the third one from my side is Istituto Benedetti Tomaseo from Venezia, Veneto region.
The school from Venezia will be matched with the school from just a moment. Dugopolie. Okay. Good. Venezia and Dugopolie. Next one.
The fourth school from my side would be Liceo Classico Linguistico Giacomo Leopardi from Macerata, Marche region, team 2.
Yes, because the school from Macerata will participate with 2 team classes due to the number of students and teachers involved in this project. So we now just name the team number 1 and team number 2. Then we'll be up to the school of Macerata to identify which one of these 2 teams will work together within the school. So Macerata team number 2 will work together with the school from Zadar. Okay.
Next institution from my side would be Istituto Scolastico Guglionesi from Molise region.
Okay, you have a perfect pronunciation, Anna. So, school from Guglionesi. We work together with the. Okay, I'm mixing up okay, picking up this one. The school.
Yeah, next time we want a notary because we don't trust you, eh?
Really? Okay, you have to trust me because I prepare very well this, with the logo, as you can see, and all the names. So the name of the school is, in this case, there are 2 schools from Rijeka. This is the Technička Škola from Rijeka that will work together with the school of Guglionesi. Okay.
The next one from my side is Istituto Boccardi Tiberio from Termoli, Molise region.
Okay. The school from Termoli. We work together with the school from Karlovac. Just a moment. Cannot see this one. Okay. And I think the last 2 schools remaining.
Yeah. So this one would be Liceo Scientifico Carlo Cafiero from Barletta, Puglia region.
Okay, the Apulian school from Barletta is matched with the school from the other school from Rijeka. This is the Gimnasia Rijeka. Okay. Okay. It's not well focused, but it's the yes, the Gimnasia Rijeka. Okay.
And the very last one is Liceo Classico Linguistico Giacomo Leopardi di Macerata, team 1.
So the other team from the school of Macerata, we work together with the school from Opuzen.
Hello from Opuzen.
Hello. Hello, and now I think there is also the teacher.
Hello.
Rita Moresi. So yeah, okay. So we matched all
Hello.
the schools. Hello, and we are happy to have matched the school together. From now on, of course, we will we will give you all the contacts, the proper contacts for each school, so you can contact yourselves starting from the next week, and we will share the contents. We will also share all these slides, the material we presented today, in order to allow you to start thinking which can be the project you want to select together. Because one of the most important things to bear in mind is that schools from now on will work as a pair, will work together, so they must select the same project to monitor. Then, starting from lesson 1 on, the Croatian school will follow the educational path in Croatian language, and the Italian schools will follow the educational path in Italian language, but always keeping the contacts together. And the other important thing to be prepared of is that starting from now, from today, you can try also working together with the school you have been matched in choosing the name of the team, the logo, and all the communication formats you want to use. Okay. But of course, we will come back to you with more information details by email. You have the contacts of the Croatian team and the Italian team together. So thank you very much for your participation. I think we have no time left to a feedback session, because we are a little bit late on the schedule. So Ivana and everyone, what do you think about it? If we can, of course, you have our contacts, email contacts, and so on. We can end and we can conclude this webinar, and by thanking you all for your participation and your collaboration in this project. We are always at your disposal, in our please contact us by email, and if you have other questions and issues and suggestions, of course. But from now on, you know that you will be working together with the other school you'll be matched with. So in a few, so on Monday, let's say Monday, you will have all the material of the slides presented today, so you will be able to go deep in the contents we share today, we present today. Ivana, Flavia, Silvia, and other colleagues, please go on. If you want to add something for greetings, please.
I would just like to thank everyone for their patience in listening us today, and hopefully we'll have a great cooperation in the next few months. And also thank the colleagues from the Managing Authority, JS, and the OpenCohesion team. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You can turn on your camera so we can share. We can see at the end our faces. Flavia, please go on.
No, I just add to you my greetings and good luck. But this is true for all of us. So we will follow you on the progress for the progress of the project. Anyway, also supporting by some lessons. I mean.
Good. Thank you very much. Yes, the teacher from Ancona, she's asked which is the name of the town of the school of the her matching. This is Dugaresa, I think. Yes. The school
Dugaresa.
Dugaresa. Yes.
Dugaresa.
Yes, we will be very precise with you by sharing all the contacts and the name of the schools and teachers, so you will be provided with all the needed information about this. Okay? Yes, exactly. Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you all the teachers and thank you the managing authority and the joint secretariat and all the colleagues from the Croatian Ministry of Regional Development and EU funds and Natalia and all the students and teachers from the previous edition and good luck from us and keep in touch and of course see you very soon. So have a nice weekend and keep on working starting from Monday. Okay. Bye. Hello, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.
Bye from
Bye.
Split.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.